As we know, SQL Server offers robust performance, advanced security, and seamless integration with cloud platforms. It also ensuring the scalable and efficient data management with tools like SSIS and SSRS. It supports comprehensive business intelligence and analytics. So in this video, I will show you how to install SQL Server with some industry best practices. I am Kamran Hussain. Now let's start. As we know, installing SQL Server is essential for setting up a robust database management system, ensuring optimal performance and reliability. So we have to follow the installation wizard and configuration setting to establish a stable and scalable database environment. These are some steps which involve for installing the SQL Server in our environment. First, we have to install an operating system. Then we have to create a Windows user for our SQL Server installation. This user should be a local user or a domain user, and we can also configure our SQL Server machine to the domain as well. Third and last, we have to mount or copy the SQL Server media in our system and run the setup. Before starting the SQL Server installation, let's discuss some best practices for SQL Server installation. First one is our SQL Server installation folder should not be in the C drive. Our SQL Server database, data files and transaction log file should be in a separate file system, and the SQL Server installation and service account startup user should not be your administrator account, and it should be an other than administrator user. By the segregation of these three elements, we can get the optimal management and performance in our environment. Time and system database should be in a separate folder or should be in a separate file system and should be in a separate drive. Second one, Windows power saving option should be in a high performance mode. Last one is after the installation of SQL Server, we should define the memory in the SQL Server instance. So these are some best practices which help you maintain the high performance environment. Now let's start the installation of SQL Server database on a Windows operating system. This is my machine in which I have to install the SQL Server 2016, and I log in with the user SQL by the Windows user in this machine. So let's start the installation of SQL Server 2016. This is my CD-ROM for SQL Server 2016 setup. This is the drive D. In this drive, I will install the SQL Server binaries, and I will also use drive D for the data files, temp files, transaction log file, and backup files. So let's start. Double click on the setup. Just press yes. Now this is the window of SQL Server installation. Just click installation and click the new SQL installation. Just click on it. This is the product key window. Just press next. Just accept the license agreement. Just next. Just press next again. Now from this window we have to select the feature which we want to install. So I want to install the database engine services. Just click on it. And this is the instance root directory, shared feature directory, and shared feature directory x86. So I want to use the drive D for the installation of my SQL Server, to just replace this drive C with the drive D. I don't want to use the drive C for my SQL Server installation. Just replace C with drive D and just click next. From this window, we have to enter the SQL Server instance. This is the default instance of SQL Server. We can change the instance name, but currently I want to use the same instance, so just press next. Now here we need to select the service account. So these are the SQL Server services: SQL Server Agent, SQL Server Database Engine, and SQL Server Browser Service. And these are the account. From this account, SQL Server services will be start. So currently I want to use the default account for to start these services, and we will discuss about these the services in our next videos. Just press next. Okay, so these are the authentication mode. So currently I want to use the mix mode. In the mix mode, we use the SQL Server authentication and also the Windows authentication. So for that, I have to enter the asset password. Just enter the password for SA. Okay. Currently, I am logged in with the user SQL in Windows. Just add the current user. So it will add the current Windows user. Just press. Now before going next, I want to change the data file directory as well. So just click on data directories. So I want to use an other data other folder for the data files. Just move on the my computer, double click drive D, and just create a folder of the database. In the database folder, I will create files, four folders. First one is data file. Second one is transaction log. This is the T log for transaction log. This is the backup and the temp file. If you have a different drive in your machine, so you can use the different drive for these files. So currently I have only the drive D, so I use the separate folder for this. So use the this database data files and paste on the data root directory. Okay, and again paste this on the user data files directory. Okay, just select the transaction log directory. Let's copy the path of transaction log. Control C, Control V. and this is the backup files path. Select the path for the backups, and I also want to change the file system name for the temp as well. Just remove this and add and select the folder which I have created. Database is temp file. Let's click OK. Now we have changed the data files and temp files folder. Just click next and then install. Now installation has been started. Now we have successfully installed the SQL Server in this machine. So we follow some best practices. In this installation, we use a separate Windows user for the SQL Server installation, that is the SQL user, and I log in Windows by the use of SQL user, and I recommend you please don't use the administrator for the SQL Server installation. If you install your SQL Server by the use of administrative user, it will create a dependency between your system administrator and the database administrator. So, as I recommend, you should use a separate user for your SQL Server. And the second one, I recommend you create different uh, folder and create a different folder for your database files and your transaction log files and for your temp file and backup files. If you have a storage in your environment, so you should have a different drive for these files. So our installation has been completed. So we have to verify the all features has been successfully installed. Now just click close.